In this video, you'll discover the difference between MCT oil and MCT powder and all the benefits they have to offer. MCTs are incredibly popular. If you're someone who follows a ketogenic diet, a low-carb diet, or just a healthy lifestyle in general, you've probably heard of MCTs. Now, a lot of people are familiar with how MCTs can help them lose weight, but they don't really know that there's a lot of other benefits that they can offer your body. So that's what I'm going to break down in this video, what MCTs are, how they can benefit your body in general, and also whether you should use the oil or the powder or when to use each one of them. So stick around to the end, but before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join our notification community so I can help you excel your health and your life. Now, I really like this topic because I use MCTs almost daily in my healthy lifestyle, and I want to teach you how you can do this as well. And if you're someone who is having a negative reaction to MCTs, how we can actually cut that out altogether. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about MCTs in general. What are they, okay? Because when we hear of this term MCTs, what is it that we're referring to? Well, we're basically referring to a fatty molecule. So it's a medium chain triglyceride. A triglyceride is basically fat. And the chain is referring to how many carbons are in the chain. Now, why does it matter? Simply because the medium chain ones are the ones that have been found to be highly beneficial. When we look at these chains, it can be anywhere from a C4 all the way to a long chain, which is C20. Now, the medium chains are going to be right around C8, C10. These C8, C10 medium chain triglycerides are highly beneficial because they're able to kind of just bypass a lot of the normal digestive routine and go straight to the portal vein in the liver, be utilized quickly for rapid energy to the brain, for the mitochondria. They can be used as ketones, and there's so many benefits that it can actually offer you in your overall health. And so that's why the medium chains are so important. That's why the medium chains are just highly used by people who are trying to improve their health because of the massive benefits that they offer. Let's go ahead and talk about them. So as I mentioned here, is that they offer instant energy. They don't have to go through that normal digestive process. They go right to the liver and they can be utilized quickly. This is why people who are on the ketogenic diet, they're looking for some extra brain energy, or anybody who's just looking to get that quick fat energy to their body, medium chain triglycerides are probably going to be one of the best ways to do it. So instant energy, it's also going to promote weight loss. It has an impact on peptide YY. It has an impact on insulin. It has an impact on blood sugar. And it also has an impact on just your overall sense as to how you feel, whether you're hungry or not. It works very well, keeping you satiated. So promotes weight loss. That's a big one and a big reason that a lot of people love it. Now, the MCTs also complement the ketogenic diet. And they complement the ketogenic diet so well because it's a fat that is able to be used quickly. When we're using the ketogenic diet, one of the things we're doing is we're increasing our fat intake, eating a lot of different good healthy fats, but the MCTs are ones that can easily be transformed into ketones, okay? So when you're using MCTs, you can actually promote ketosis. In fact, if you're somebody who is trying to promote having more ketones in your body, you have to break it down as to how you're gonna do that. Well, you can follow the ketogenic diet for a couple days, and that's how you can get more ketones. You can go fasted, you can use things like exogenous ketones, or you can even use MCTs. Taking a good high dose of MCTs will actually promote ketone production in the body, which complements the ketogenic diet. So very cool there. It also helps increase sports performance. How in the world does it do that? Well, for one, I like it because it actually offers you that long-lasting energy. If you're doing any type of like exercise that has any type of long duration to it, if you're going for a long distance run, for instance, it really helps with that. But the other thing it really helps with is keeping the lactate buildup down in your muscles. So basically what happens is when you work out, you get an increase in lactate and it decreases sports performance. The MCTs helps keep that suppressed so that it doesn't decrease your performance. It also is going to help stabilize blood sugar, as I had mentioned, very powerful for that. If you have increased blood sugar, low blood sugar, it just helps create balance across the blood sugar, which is awesome. And we're also going to use it in order to help improve heart health. It helps increase HDLs. It also helps decrease inflammation. So what has been shown to do is decrease the C-reactive protein marker. Very powerful stuff. Now, when we look at like how this benefits your body in such a big way when it comes to like metabolic syndrome, it's huge, because first of all, it's going to help stabilize the blood sugar. It's going to help promote weight loss, and it's going to help improve heart health. And when you look at all three of these, they pretty much act on each other. I mean, if you keep your blood sugar stabilized, you're going to lose some weight. If you lose some weight, you're going to improve your heart health, So they all really support each other, and it's a powerful way to just improve health in general. It also can help gut health. The ways that the MCTs really promotes gut health is because it can help decrease the amount of yeast in your gastrointestinal system, but also the bad bacteria. So if you're getting a yeast overgrowth, a bacterial overgrowth, the MCTs help keep that at bay, which is awesome. And then here's one of my favorite things that MCTs can really do for you, and that's really support your nervous system and your neurological system. So to give you an example, somebody who has a neurological condition like dementia, one of the things that happens is that their brain cannot use sugar for energy. And as a result, they start to have a rapid decline in neurological function and brain function. So MCTs can actually be used as a quick energy source. And these people who have these brain conditions can just benefit in a huge way. And so when we look at any neurological condition, children with autism, they've been proven to be helped with MCTs. People who have epilepsy, people who have Parkinson's, people who have Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, you name it. So if you're someone who is suffering from any type of neurological condition, or you just want to focus on always increasing brain health, then MCTs are a great way to go. And by the way, if you want to learn more about how you can increase ketones in the body in order to get a good therapeutic benefit, check this video out right here, where I talk about the power of exogenous ketones. Because when we look at these ketones in the body, we have to understand that there's certain people that we kind of have to trick the system with, because we can't get them to follow a very strict, healthy ketogenic diet. Even though these ketones benefit them greatly, in some cases, it's very difficult. You get an elderly person who has dementia, for instance. So one of the things we can use in order to still support them is MCTs and exogenous ketones. But anyway, check that video out. I'll also put a link in the description. Oil versus powder, which one should you use? Which one do I prefer? And how could you go about using this? So now when we look at using MCTs, one of the things we want to do is actually make sure that we're using the medium chain triglycerides. So a lot of times people will look at these MCTs and go, well, why is this brand super expensive? Why is this brand super cheap? Well, part of it can be due to the sourcing as to where the oil came from. But the other part that is probably the bigger part is whether or not they're actually using medium chain triglycerides, or they're kind of, sprinkling in some long chains and some short chains. And the truth is that when you get a brand that maybe is really cheap, they may have some C6s in there, and might have some C12s in there. And then all of a sudden you pretty much are, kind of getting out of that range of actually buying the MCTs. You're more just buying some MCTs combined with a lot of other stuff. And so that's where you kind of get in this position. Well, you might as well just use some coconut oil if this is what you're trying to accomplish. And so anyway, we want to make sure that we're using good MCTs. C8, C10 are going to be some of the most powerful, well-researched MCTs on the body. And then when it comes to oil versus powder, here's the big difference that you're going to experience with this. Now, I can say for me personally, I use pretty much only powder. I do not use oil. I stay away from the oil. When I realized that the powder was available, it kind of blew my mind, because I was like, let's give this a try. For one, it's very easy to use. You can take little packets around with you, and you don't have to deal with the messy oil. The other reason the powder is a very big deal for me is because, when you put it in a drink, it doesn't just sit on the top of it if you're using it with your coffee, which coffee is a good delivery system for the MCTs, by the way. So if you use the powder, it mixes in nicely where the oil sits on top. But here's probably the biggest reason right here, is that it's estimated that about 40 to 50% of people have a tolerability issue with MCTs, meaning that when you go and you consume the oil, you automatically just have to run to the bathroom, you get digestive distress, and it causes diarrhea. So a lot of people have this issue, and there's a lot of people who go, well, I can't use MCTs because of this problem right here. Truth is that you actually can use MCTs, you just have to use it in the powder form. I'll put a link in the description below to the powder that I use on a daily basis. It's a really good, high quality one. And it tastes good. I actually use it as a creamer in my coffee. That's how I start my day. That's my creamer in my coffee. Now, the other thing that you're going to find in the powder is that it has fiber, okay? The reason there's a fiber in it is simply because if they didn't put the fiber in there and attach it to the fats, it would turn back to a liquid. It needs that fiber in there to stay in a powder form. So that fiber allows for a couple things. The fiber allows for people to have a little bit of a higher dose of the MCTs, whereas if they have the oil, they have to have just a little bit, because it'll cause a lot of gastrointestinal distress. The fiber allows for them to have a little bit of a higher dose. One of the reasons that it works well too is because it has more of a sustained slow release. And why is that? Simply because you have the fiber in there, it's good for your gut health, and it also is with the fats. So it's not just a big old dose of fats, it's with fiber. So it's a little bit better for your gut health overall. And then, of course, you know, the fiber not only slows down the absorption of it a little bit so that you don't have a huge amount of gastrointestinal distress and find yourself running to the bathroom, but the fiber also has benefits for your gut in general, okay? So this is really how I go about using MCTs. I always stick to the powder. Ever since I started using powder, I have never went back to oil. It's messy. I don't like it. It causes gastrointestinal distress in myself as well. So we have to just watch out for that and understand all the benefits this has to offer and how it can help you improve your health. So give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below, do you use the oil or the powder? And then check out this video right over here where I talk about how you can actually stabilize your blood sugar. If you are not getting exercise on a daily basis, then you are deficient in it, okay? Because anything that is required by the human DNA, required by the human body on a daily basis in order to thrive and express health, it is automatically a deficiency if you're not getting it.